Good afternoon and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison. I'm certainly glad to have you. And as always, we want to thank BTC Fiber for sponsoring our program. And you can see these interviews on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as cable channel 18. Now, today we have with us Dr. Krissy Walker. She's the new, she's not new now, but Bledsoe County School Superintendent. Thank you for being with us, Krissy. I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
And I know we've had probably a lot of new people. I know we have in Sequatchie, and I'm sure Bledsoe's had a lot of new people move in that may not have known you throughout the year. So give you our viewers a little bit of background about yourself.
Okay, so I attended a school here in Bledsoe County. I went to Wheeler through 8th grade, graduated from our high school. Then I went on to MTSU, and then I came back and taught 2nd grade up at Mary V. Wheeler for 7 years. And after that, I came to the board office. And I've been here over 20 years now, doing a variety of things. I've done voluntary preschool director, federal projects director. I've done testing, textbook, just multiple things over those 20 years since I've been here. I've worn lots of different hats. And I started this job the last day of July. So I've only been here a little over a month in this role.
Oh, well, that's wow. That's good. Well, that's good. Yes. And like I say, I'm glad that the board selected someone locally this time. Not that I'm not against, like I say, I'm not against anybody that's been in the position before, but I just like to see within.
I'm really excited to be from here and get to serve in this role.
Well, it helps you, and like I say, people know you, or at least the ones that have been here for years and gone to school here. They know you, and it's more of a friendship instead of I'm the superintendent and you're the parent. Yeah.
I definitely think people feel very comfortable reaching out to me because most people I've known for a very long time. If not, I know their family. So I think that really helps build relationships in the community, just being from here and knowing people.
Yeah, and you've gone to school with no telling how many people
yes,
throughout the years. And like I said, you're from I went to school earlier in Wheeler, so you know that community as well, and then you know here, and so that's good. Let's just start off with a little bit of what are some of your goals you'd like to see achieved this year and the coming years? So
my top priority is always working toward what helps our students. I want to make sure when they leave us that they are prepared to do whatever they want to do. There's so many options now other than college. So whatever they want to do, I want to make sure that they're equipped when they leave us to be able to do anything they want to do. And I want them to know that they are capable and they have opportunity, and they will be able to do whatever they want to do if we give them the right support. So that is my top goal. I also want to make sure that our teachers know that they're heard and supported. Teachers have really, really hard jobs, and over the years it's just gotten more and more difficult and more challenges. They're expected to do so much more now. So I've not got to do a lot of it yet, but I really want to spend time with teachers and reaching out to them, making sure that they know they're heard and that they're getting the support they need. Not the support just that we necessarily think they need, but make sure we're listening to them and getting them what they actually need so that they can feel success. Because without them, our students are not going to leave us equipped. We have to have them, and we have to have them feeling supported and given what they need to be successful.
Well, I know a lot of times, maybe not a lot of times, but sometimes the difference between the superintendent and your faculty, a lot of times the faculty may have sometimes the opinion that, they don't understand or they're not in the, and when you really do, you've been there and done that. And so you've been in the trenches and you know what's going on. So it's not like you don't know what's going on and you just want them to know, hey, I'm here.
Yes.
Call me anytime. Let me know your concerns.
Definitely. Yes. That's true.
And that's always good to know because when you build relationships, that builds a camaraderie among people.
Yes.
And when that happens, then you become friends instead of a boss employee type relationship. You're friends.
So relationships are so important in every aspect, teacher to student, teacher to teacher, principal to teacher. It's so important. So I really want to build on that this year, on building stronger relationships, because it's so important. If you don't have that, you can't get a lot of other things done. You have to have that strong. And that kind of leads into my third thing I want to talk about as far as a goal. I want to continue building relationships with our community partners, with parents, because without all those supports, we can't be successful either. Like right now we have a really good program with BTC down at our vocational school. One of their employees is coming down and doing some fiber things with our students. The students are so excited about it. But if it wasn't for BTC being willing to give us that help and that support, we wouldn't be able to do that program. And I think it'll lead to some good jobs for students. So I'm really excited about that. But I want to continue growing that and other partnerships. We have lots of people, you know, who are helping us, especially in our STEM projects and those type of things. So I'm really thankful for that, and I really want to work this year to continue that and expand it.
Well, one thing I've seen in small towns around in the valley, and of course really all the towns in the valley are small,
Yes.
Is that no matter, seems like no matter the businesses, no matter how many times they get called on, they'll do something. Sometimes it's a small thing, but then sometimes it's a little bit bigger.
Right.
But they're always willing to do
Yes.
something because they've been there. Most of them have been to the schools in their
Right.
community, so they
Yes.
know what and they want what's best for the community as
Right.
well.
Yes.
And you know, you got the, like I said, the TCAT that's here, and a lot of students. Well, you're seeing now where a lot of students, they may not want to go to college to get a 4-year degree.
Right.
That may not be what, but a TCAT program, which helps them develop a vocational skill.
Yes, I'm so excited about that because sometimes they leave making more money than kids that would go to college. It just depends on the path they choose. But I'm really excited about the new TCAT, and we've already started having conversations with the president of the TCAT centers. So we've talked a lot about the nursing program. That was where we're starting with the nursing program, but I know we're going to have conversations about every single program and how our CTE program can partner with them so that students can leave with some hours, hopefully a lot of hours, so they won't have as much to finish up once they leave high school.
That's true. I've noticed a lot of high schools are doing that, where they have like a dual enrollment type thing where you're getting hours at school and then you're getting hours when you get there. So you're, like you said, you don't need as many hours when you get there because you already have hours backed up.
Yeah, I think students are a lot more likely to go on if they leave us with some hours. I think they're a lot more likely to.
Yeah, and I noticed when I was going to school, when I was in high school, the trend was towards the vocational schools, and then it seemed like the schools got away from vocational schools kind of and went more college prep and that way. And I'm not criticizing that. I went to college as well, but I think back and I thought, well, you know, I could have gone there to our vocational school and learned a skill.
Right.
And but you know, those are it's both ways because your students here are. You're still doing with Chattanooga State, aren't you?
Yes,
so you're getting college credit for that, and then if you get the TCAT experience, and you're getting credit. So you could be where they don't have to take all the little introductory courses, get all that out of the way, and they're in high school and that's done. That's great. That's a big step.
That's what's so exciting is because there's lots of different options for them, and I hope no matter which path they want to take that we're able to get them ready and get them well on their way before they leave. That's the goal. So that's exciting.
Well, in your vocational school, I've noticed some of the courses when I was asking somebody the other day, I said, what are some of those courses there? And they told me, and I thought, wow, that's kind of neat.
Yes, we have a lot of good programs right now. Our welding program, for example, is very successful. We have students leave that program and go on to make lots of money.
Yes.
It's all the programs are very successful. It's great, but that's one that people talk about a lot around here, and it's just very, I guess you would say, popular. The kids get really excited, and lots of kids want to take that.
Well, there's some. I know there's one girl that her family's a friend of ours. She wants to do the underwater welding. Yeah. And it's dangerous, but it also, they make a lot of money.
Yes, it pays very well. I've heard of that.
So, you know, those are the welding program, which in the past wasn't a big thing. You know, you just had to go out and get a job and learn on the job. Well, here you can learn those things. And I think that's just super that you do that. And, like you said, it makes school, instead of just having to come to school and learn the math and the English and the history, you're coming to school and it makes it more exciting. And it gives them more options. The kids want to come to school.
Right. I've learned just in this short period of time since I've been here, that's really important. And sports. Those are the things that really get kids excited about coming to school. the programs at the vocational or their CT or their Chattanooga State, just knowing that they're doing something that's going to help them in their future. That and sports are the two things that I think make kids excited about coming to school.
Well, a lot of times I've noticed in the past that's the only thing that brings them to school.
Yes.
And sometimes the sports or the program they're in, that's what drives them to make a better grade, because if they don't make the grade,
That's
they
right.
can't be on the team, so to speak. So.
Yes, I've just learned that, just really over the last few years. I used to, I've always thought sports were really important, but now I know they're really, really important because of those things, because I've actually had kids tell me, that's why I want to make good grades, or that's why I even come to school. Sometimes that's the only thing that's really motivating them to come.
Yeah, and that's it's good that the children can be motivated, because I know, like I say, that sometimes people struggle, and being from a rural area like the whole Sequatchie Valley is, some of the students don't always have everything they need at home.
Right.
And so here might be a home away from home that they can get that support that they need.
That's right. We've been fortunate to have lots of supports over the last few years. It started with COVID money. So we've had lots of support, like social workers and mental health supports. Our students have gotten a lot more in the last few years than they normally would. And it's been great to see what they can accomplish when they truly have all the supports they need. We've always tried, but we've had money and been able to do a lot more in the last few years. And it does make a difference when kids come with everything they need to be successful.
Right, and like you said, there are students, and I know you know as well as I do, they're out there that they don't have it. They don't have their parents are not able to help them in school because they didn't do well in school, and so they, and especially like the new math.
I know. It's so hard,
and so all the new things that are coming in technology. Some of the parents don't have the technology skills.
Right, that's right.
And so they don't. It's hard for them to try to identify. And so if the child doesn't have someone that can at least guide them, then they're kind of left out in the
That's right. That's why we've tried so hard to address the whole child and really think about each child, what they need, to address any needs they have, not just academic needs. So we've really made that shift, I think, in the last few years to think in that way.
Uh-huh.
It's different than years ago, I think.
Yeah. And what about, I know with the federal government trying to shut down the Department of Education, I know a lot of people were worried about that, but they're still making available, a lot of people were concerned about the food program, but that's through the Department of Agriculture.
Right.
And so that's not gone away. That's still there.
It's not gone away. It could impact us, I think, in ways because that is based, our title funding, which is our federal funding through the school district, is based on income levels, and that I think some of those have changed. So if people get kicked off of that program, which if they change the thresholds, people could get kicked off, and then it could in turn affect our title funding. So it's still a worry for us, even though it's not coming directly from the Department of Education. But everybody will still be in the same boat, so I think they'll have to come up with a solution. But that is kind of a worry for us because our title funding is based on number of students in poverty. So it is a concern for us. We'll just have to see how that all plays out.
I mean, we don't want students in poverty, but we are a rural community or a rural valley.
Right.
So the numbers are there.
Right.
And and I've known some people that own welfare programs that made $1 or $10 over the limit, and they couldn't. And I thought, man, they need this.
It makes it really hard on families for sure. I've seen lots of families be in that boat. They're working, they're trying, and they're making just a little bit too much, and then they don't have services. And then we do try to kick in and find resources for them when that happens, but that does happen a lot. It makes it really hard for families.
Right, and I know all your staff at all the schools they look out for that, and they when they identify that, they try to work on things for that.
They do. Everybody in our district is so good about that. Like, not just teachers, all the staff, everybody is so good. I've had all kinds. When I was in federal programs, I worked a lot with our most at-risk kids, and I've had bus drivers reach out, assistants, cafeteria workers. They're always, they're great. They're looking out for our kids. So I really appreciate that about our community. They're always looking out for our kids and trying to find ways to help them. And if they can't, then they're good to reach out and try to find somebody who can help.
Well, that's good, and I know you have a lot of churches in the area that help, You have the
Yes.
local food bank that's here
Yes.
that helps a lot.
Yes.
You know, so you got a lot of, and other businesses that like the ice cream shop. Don't they do a Christmas thing? They do it's a toy drive, I think, and
Yes.
things for Christmas. So,
I'm not sure who does that. I know somebody does that. I
Yeah.
need to find out. But we have lots of people who help with not just food but other things. You know, all different kinds of needs, hygiene things, school supplies. We have lots of churches and businesses who do that. Yeah, and it's great because we just don't have the resources to meet all the needs. So if we didn't
Right.
have them, we'd be in trouble.
yeah, you can't buy everybody
Right.
toothpaste every month
Right,
or a
right,
toothbrush and
exactly,
thing. So it helps to have those
It
partners.
sure does. Yeah.
And a lot of times they have partners who get things that they know where to
Right.
pull from, or
Yes.
doctors or dentists or things. They have bigger companies they can pull from that do this.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's a good thing, and I see that happening a lot here and well throughout the valley, because that's it seems like you know, when I first moved here 40 years ago, you know, I thought, well, this place is really rural, because I grew up in a little bigger town. That wasn't a whole lot bigger, but it was bigger, and we had more things, and I thought, well, this is tiny, you know. But then as you see it grow, and there's people out there that, even though we may be small, we're out there helping, because everybody's helping each other.
Yes, for sure. I think us being small and everybody knowing everybody really does help in that way, because I don't know of ever being turned down as far as me being from the school system asking for help for something. I don't remember ever being turned down. So our businesses are so good. Even just private individuals a lot of time will help if they know there's a need. They'll just come forward without even us having to ask.
Well, they've all been through the school system. And they know the
Right.
struggles, and they know that if it wasn't for the school system, they wouldn't be as successful as
Right.
they are,
Right.
because they had to start somewhere.
That's right. Yeah.
And so they know, and
Right.
they want to give back, and that's really good. That was one of. And what about? I know you were hired by the board, because. How's the board been as far as supporting and everything? I know you just, like I say, just a little over a month. But
I did just start, but I can't say enough good things about how supportive they've been from the very beginning. You know, anytime I need any of them, they're on the phone just right away. You know, they've reached out to me if they see something that may be a concern. They've been quick to say, hey, here's a heads up, and here's what's happened in the past, and here's how we can support you. They've just been great. I couldn't ask for any better. They've helped all along the way, and all of them. You know, sometimes boards are split and you don't always get support, but every one of them have been so supportive, and I'm not seeing that, you know, split about, you know, helping or not helping or that kind of thing. They've all been super helpful. Yeah.
Well, that's good, because it's nice to know you can actually put your head on your pillow at night and rest, not having to worry about a lot of that stuff.
That helps so much, not being worried about that, so then I can focus on the other things. The other good thing about the board is they all have different kind of interests. So, you know, one may be concerned about sports, but one may be concerned just about academics. You know, some of them are really concerned about our facilities. So it's great because I'm getting to know them well enough. And I've been at board meetings for 20 years, so
Yeah.
I kind of know, but it's great that they all have kind of a thing that they're interested in. And that helps me because I know there's somebody besides me really thinking about it and trying to think through what we can do. That helps a lot.
Right, and you mentioned facilities. I know you got Wheeler and Rigsby, and they're older facilities.
Yes.
And it would take a major investment to really improve
Yes.
both those schools. I mean, I know you
Yes.
don't let them go down. But,
Yes.
But you know, they are old.
Yes,
And,
so we're starting talks with the mayor and one of the commissioners just this Thursday. We're going to be meeting to start those talks because they're willing to help us any way they can. And I'm going to them with the list of our needs and just seeing where it goes. You
Yeah.
know, it's just the very beginning phase of that. We started some conversations last year about what the county may want to do. So I want to continue that while we're still thinking about it, talking about it, and we'll see what they want to do as far as moving forward because they have expressed interest in helping. So I'm really thankful that our commissioners are thinking in that way. And they've also been very supportive to me. I can't say enough good things about them either because some of them have reached out. They've all been supportive, but some of them have reached out and said, you know, if I can help you in any way or express some concerns to me about things. And I really appreciate that because not every director has
Right.
support of the board and the commission. So
Right.
I really appreciate that.
Well, and when you're talking about investments for just a school on those level, even though they're smaller, you're still talking several $1,000,000.
You are. That's why we need to decide what we're doing, what our plans are. Those schools are, I told you I was a Wheeler kid. I was there 9 years, so, it's so special to me, not just that one, but Rixby too, because it's the hub of the community, and I want to make sure that they're successful. As long as we can let them be successful and be there, we want to make sure that we're supporting them, and I think the commission feels the same way. Yeah.
Well, and like I said, that'll be tough because you have to sell that to I don't think it'd be too hard to sell it to the communities because they realize it's been there. Because the option is to put a lot of money into an old building, which eventually would have to be replaced anyway.
Right. That's what that's the talks we're going to get started on this Thursday. We're going to start talking about all that. It's my understanding, though, that the actual shell of the buildings they're really good.
Oh, good.
So it's block and it's, everything's good quality as far as the structure. So I'm not sure. I don't know enough about that, but I'm going to learn, when we meet and start having talks about it.
Well, maybe a good remodel.
Yeah.
And could save you that.
Right. That's one of the options, I think, that we're going to talk about.
Well, that'd be good. And do you have, I know, was it last spring that you won the 5-Star School of Excellence?
It was the year before last. We were exemplary district for all the growth our students have made. We're still a level 5 district from last year.
That's great.
Yeah, so we're still doing really well and growing our students. We still have a lot of work to do, but our schools are doing really well. My goal is for the schools that we had 3 level 5 schools, and that was Wheeler High School and Rixby. So the Pottville Elementary was a level 3 for growth. That just means, how did our students do from the year before? How did they grow? And 3 is a good solid score. That means they grew a solid year. So they're doing well. The middle school, we have some work to do. So that's my main goal this year, is to help them get where they need to be and give them the supports they need.
But middle school, I taught middle school for over 20 years, almost my 30 years in teaching, and middle school is a different animal.
It's very challenging. It's a hard age for the kids. It's just, that's our biggest challenge, and it will be. But I think we can figure out how to help. And that's my goal, is to help them, support them, and give them what they need. It's just different than the other levels. It's a challenge.
They're pulling away from being a child into kind of a young adult.
Yes.
But one day they may be that
that's
child.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
So it's hard.
That's a hard age.
It's a hard age. It really is hard on them. So
it's hard on the kids. It's hard for them because they're growing up, and it's hard.
Yeah. But that'll be a challenge it would be a challenge for anybody. Well, do you have any? That wasn't what I was going to ask. I was looking at my notes. I looked at something the wrong way. Well, we already talked about that, about the businesses and everything. And your staff here at the, of course, you're in compared to some of the central offices I've seen, your office is here and everything's tiny.
Yeah, we are actually in the process of building a new board office.
Oh.
You know how people are building barn dominiums?
Yeah.
We're calling it a board dominium. It's going to be that type of structure. We definitely don't have the money to build a building, but this place is in really bad shape, so we're going to have to do something. So that's what we're doing. We're in the process of doing that. The dirt work should start in the next couple of weeks, I hope.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So we're kind of phasing it. It'll take a couple more years to do it. We're just doing a little bit at a time when we can, because we're not getting a big loan for it or anything. We're just doing it as we can.
Well, good. And of course, I know when you're tight, and all the offices are in. All the offices here are tight.
Yes.
And you get crammed, and you have to keep all the records and everything. And
right.
Records take up most of your room.
They do. This building, they've tried to do some renovations to it, but we have a lot of leaking, and it used to flood in here, and they finally got that stopped. But there's just some damage from that, and still having trouble with the windows leaking and that kind of thing. So hopefully we'll get a new office soon.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Let's hope. Maybe we can do an interview when it comes time for that.
Yeah, that would be good.
That'd be good to have that grand opening.
Yeah.
And of course, you're fortunate here too. A lot of local places with your medical facilities, where you're right here, and not that you want your children to get hurt.
Yeah.
But you have a good medical facility here that could that work with y'all, and I'm sure. Is your nursing program, is that through Erlanger? Are they the ones helping you on that, or how does that?
Are you talking about at TCAT, or are you talking about our nurses in our schools?
Yeah, your nursing program through TCAT. Who's that?
So that will be the TCAT of Crossville is who we've been talking to. So it'll be through the TCAT program. But they did say Erlanger would be willing to work with us. The nursing home would be willing to work with us. So they're giving us options for where our students could get some hours in. But they said it wouldn't be a problem because they are here. So students could stay here and get their hours in that's required. So I'm excited about that. As far as our nurses in our schools and all that, we have Dr. Alvarez as a consulting physician. That's been really great. So when we have problems, we have a direct communication with her. That's something we did new just over the last couple of years, and that's been great. She's been really helpful. When we have problems, we can just call her up and talk to her, and she's willing to do that. That's been really helpful.
Well, I know when you talk about education, you're also talking about the physical part of it.
Right.
And that's one thing that you need, because there might be things that, because you're in education, that you don't think about that on that end, and you need somebody to say, hey, have you thought about this?
Right. We've done like I said, we've done a lot better job over the last few years thinking about the whole child and all their needs, and that was part of it. We have mental health supports, but also sometimes it's physical needs that kids have. So that's been great to just be able to pick up the phone and call her and talk about concerns we have.
And she can help you and direct you in the right way as you need to go.
Yes, she can, and she can give us resources. She gives us ideas, or she may say, if a kid is diagnosed with this certain thing, here's some things you might see. Here's some things you could try. Those kinds of things have been helpful too. Yeah.
Right, because sometimes a child comes along and they have something totally different than you've ever experienced. You've not experienced it before. And you don't know how to deal with it, and you need to know what do I need to do to help this child. Right,
and even though our nurses are great, when it's a situation like that, it's great to have her, to communicate with us and help us through it.
Right, because when you're, and I don't mean this in a bad way, when you're ignorant of those things and you don't know how to do, you might do the wrong thing.
That's right, yeah. And you sure don't want to do that. It could be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah.
Well, I was just reading today a story about a lady who was, she was bitten, had Lyme disease. Got bit by a tick, and it had developed to where she was just on the verge of being dead. Well, then she was somewhere and she got stung by a bunch of bees. Well, it was the venom from the stings that helped her improve.
Oh my goodness.
And so they didn't know that correlation until she started getting better, and she got out of what she was doing, so that well, hey, venom from the bees fights this disease.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
So there's a lot of things out there you don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, one thing is like peanut allergies. When I was growing up, you didn't hear about that a lot. And I know things have changed over the years.
Right.
But that's a concern, because someone with a peanut allergy, if they get around it, they could really close up in a hurry.
Oh, it's very dangerous. I mean, we've already had the ambulance called one time this year for an allergy. It was for an adult, but it can happen so quickly. It's so scary. We have all kinds of plans in place, but it's scary when it actually happens. Our schools have handled it really well, but we try to just really be cognizant all the time of allergies and just make sure that people are aware of it. That's the hardest part. Everybody's willing to help do their part to make sure a kid's not exposed, but the hardest job is just getting that communication out there so everybody's aware.
Right, well, there's more now children's diabetes, because I just didn't hear that when I was growing up. And being in the classroom, I've seen children, their blood sugar drop, and you go, here's some more.
Yes, lots of kids now have on a phone or iPad or something, they're like constantly, watching that, and that's helpful, but, it's still scary when they have an
it's scary when you see it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And, what are some things that I guess you're excited about the year, because you basically just started. But,
yes.
But I know there's some things you're excited about and you want to see. And is there anything we haven't talked about you want to talk about?
I think I've talked about everything. Definitely the TCAT. I'm really excited about our collaboration with them. That's probably the thing I'm most excited about, because I know it's going to lead to jobs for our kids. That's
yeah.
probably what I'm most excited about. And I'm excited about talking to them about the other programs. Like I said, we just started talking about nursing. I'm excited to hear what they can do for us in the other programs.
Well, and like you mentioned about the welding part, I know a lot of companies like Morton Industries in Dunlap, they had a big hiring thing going on, but they needed welders.
Yeah.
And not everybody can weld, but that's what they were needing, and they got them eventually.
Right.
But the jobs through TCAT, like you said earlier, a lot of times the money's really there and making good money.
Definitely, yes. I think that's been a huge shift, because when I was going through school, you were kind of told, like, if you don't go to college, you're not going to make any money, and now that's just not the case. I mean, I love it when kids do go to college. That's amazing, and you can make good money that way too. But I'm just glad there's another option for kids who don't want to go, so they don't feel like they have to. And I'm really excited that TCAT's going to be right here, because a lot of our kids that don't have transportation, well, they can find a way to go to school here. And they may not even be able to go to Crossville, but they can go here. They can find a way to get to the school here. So I'm really excited. I think that's going to open a lot of doors for our kids.
Yes, and it'll probably open up some other businesses on that side of town.
Yeah, I hope so.
Probably more eating facilities and things, because the kids will. But I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited. When I heard you got superintendent, I thought, well, that's good. That's a good person in there.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm so excited. I really am. I really hadn't just sat around and thought about being director of schools, but it just felt right to me when the opportunity came up. I just thought, I think I can do this. I just prayed about it, and I said, if it's your will, Lord, let me do this. If not, then that's okay. But I was really excited that they chose me.
Well, you got a while before you retire anyway, so you can put a lot more years into this.
Yeah,
hopefully. And I think it'll be a good. I think it's a good thing for Bledsoe County Schools, good thing for you, and I think it's going to work out really great.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you. And anything else you want to say before
I'm looking forward to a successful year.
Well, good. And maybe we can have some more talks about things coming up down the road. Maybe when TCAT gets in there, we can talk about how that's going to work.
That sounds great. That'll be in January, I think. So.
Oh, really?
The summer. We're going to start some talks in January, but it's the summer.
Okay, great. Well, that'll be good, and I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And again, thank you for viewing this. And as always, you can see this interview on BTC Fiber's YouTube page, as well as their cable channel 18. So until next time, have a great day. Hey everybody, this is Glenn Edison from Valley Views. We appreciate you watching our shows, and we would like for you to like, share, and follow us on Facebook, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube page.